A lot of religious iconography too. People have definitely. You imagine those monks in their monastery, and they're like, I'm celibate, and they have a picture of like Adam and Eve with the snake. They're like, okay, this is fine.
No, it's okay because I didn't paint this
Big
one.
busty naked Eve, but there's no way they weren't like, all right, this is fine.
Don't get high on your own supply. It originated with monks where you don't jerk off to your own paintings.
Yes, that's the original move.
Yeah. They come in, yo, I'm getting changed.
What are you getting changed out of your robe you wear every day? Yeah.
Don't come in here, I'm getting changed.
I'm in my workout gear.
Talk to the Pope. He knows everything.
Fucking phone anymore.
On that note, good day, everyone. Welcome to the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. We're excited to be back in town after our long journey at sea.
It's been a wild one out there, but we all came back and our sea legs are still shaking.
It's been a while.
I got scurvy.
Joe had scurvy, and
I kept telling you to eat those oranges, and you just wouldn't do it.
I don't want to change the hue.
I don't think I need to introduce myself anymore. I think I'm a household name at this point.
Sure are. Yeah. So
Dom didn't get scurvy, but he did snap the Madame de Voyage in half because he got too excited. Remember what that is, Dom?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's the broom that they bang on the ship to pretend it's a woman because it's before real dolls.
Yep. Yeah, they would dress up a broom in a really nice like corset and
spray a little perfume on there.
Yeah, spray a little perfume on there and just cut some sort of a hole, or
kind of like that episode of American Dad when Steve keeps having sex with a broom. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he keeps having sex with the stress ball that gets put in the dishwasher when Roger puts it in.
No, that's not Steve. Come on, get on my level.
I was thinking snot. It's just sometimes I am capable of making the worst decisions.
I'm not mad that we talked about fucking 1 minute of the podcast, but I will not talk about American Dad for the first 5 minutes. This is a Dylan Joe Basement Podcast, not American Dad Jack-Off Corner, which is your side project that you and Dylan are going to do. The one
we're working on that.
Someday we are going to do that, yeah.
Welcome to Dylan Joe Basement Podcast. Today we're talking about another great human being. Not great saying he's a nice gentleman or a fantastic archon or what we should think about. He's a fucking great man in the way that Alexander the Great was great, which means he is a part of history whether you like it or not. And he's a little weird, a little wild, and a little stubborn. And his name is what, Dominic?
Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, I'm sorry. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon. Absolutely. His bones are his money, and so are the worms. We're talking about Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte today, folks. Honestly,
it's like American Pie, but French.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's just like that, the tart. Bonaparte. But yeah, the movie just came out. I haven't seen it yet. I'm excited to watch it. I heard it's kind of bad, but who knows? But it got me thinking about the man himself and this deep dive that I did and that we did to research him. It uncovered a lot of stuff we didn't know about the guy. We're going to talk about that today.
Is it like one of those movies that's like 3 hours long?
I think it's so. I don't know how long it is, but it's not short.
It's a modern movie. It's 3 hours long.
Probably 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
We're about to talk about him for easily 2.5 hours. A movie.
Yeah, I actually think what you should do if you are listening to this podcast. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, dumb. I think that what you should do if you listen to this podcast is that you should watch the movie at home and put the movie on mute and just listen to us talk about Napoleon the whole time and have that as like a background.
Dude, not gonna lie, that actually sounds fucking great. Because
that way you can learn the real story, not the shitty movie story about how he's in love with his wife and all that bull crap. You're gonna learn about the real shit, like artillery experience. Mm-hmm. The real ins and outs and ups and downs of the French state. Vive la France. And I guess I also just realized how powerful France was. You grow up in America, you learn about World War II, you're like, France sucks. I can't believe they fought England for so long, but like they were powerful as shit. Like when America was still like, suckling on the teat of colonialism, France was kicking ass. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's jump into it, boys. The story of Napoleon.
Let's go, take it away.
This story starts out in 1769. Which is just right before America really popped off and said, "We declare independence." And then they fought a revolution over it. Who did they fight with in the revolution? Against the British, with the French. Let's not forget that aspect. Without France, their contributions to our war effort, we pretty much would not have won the revolution. It was the fact that France hated Britain so much that we were able to
we returned the favor,
pull them together and help us win that shit. Yeah, we paid our debts, and I wish they would, but we'll get into that as we go on. So it starts out 1769 in an island called Corsica. It's off the coast of Italy because it used to be part of Italy. In fact, 1 year before Napoleon was born in August 1769, it was Italy. And France had just taken over the island and called it their own. So Napoleon is born into an island world where they've just been conquered. So his whole life, he only knows France is owning this island. But everyone who's older than him lived in a world where this was not France. This was Italy, including his father, who was a aristocrat / nobleman kind of dude. And his father was part of the resistance. He fought against France to save Italy in Corsica. And they didn't win. And just before they lost, because his father is, they're all Italian, including Napoleon. They're Italian people. But he was very French before knowing it. And because he saw that, I see the way wind's blowing, I better become French really fast. So that's why Napoleon had money, because this guy goes, I see this way this is going. Actually, I'm French now. And France is like, glad to hear it, buddy. So he's a traitor. Right before he was born, the dad's a traitor. He gets to hold on to his lands and his money because he swore an oath to France before they lost. But the guy he was fighting alongside is the loyalist leader of Corsica. He didn't like that Napoleon's dad did that. And he didn't die in the war. He kept fighting for an independent Corsica after that. But Napoleon knew the guy growing up. He was like, I like this guy. He's my dad's friend. He's a hero to me.
He's a really good guy.
And his dad was not a hero to him.
Different views. He's wrong. I'm right. But it's all okay.
Yeah, but Napoleon liked the guy better than his dad. His dad would gamble away their money. He was a pussy and a traitor, and Napoleon hated that about him. And he liked this other guy, this Italian guy. He's like, I like this guy. This is more my speed. So when Napoleon gets older, he wants to find some glory outside of this little island of misfits that are taken over by France. And he sees how much power France has. So he goes, I'm going to join the French army. That's my way out of here. I'm going to go to officer school, do the whole thing. And when Napoleon's learning about warfare, he goes to the guy who led the Corsican resistance. And he goes, hey, man, I'm learning about warfare. Maybe we should work together. And that guy goes, I don't work with traitor pussies and their pussy sons. That was that. His hero called him a pussy, and his dad's a traitor pussy too.
God.
That's got to be rough to have your hero. You go, oh, sir, please. And Napoleon's like 17 at the time, being like, sir, I and the guy's like, no, I don't like you. Your father is a pussy. He deserves to go in the ocean with all the rest of them. That's it for you. So that's got to sting. That's got to sting for sure. But so yeah,
yes,
so
that is one thing I do know about this on my few notes that I do have. And maybe it was just because it was a different time back then and people died younger. But when Napoleon was 17 and he got, I hope I'm not jumping too far ahead, when he got assigned to be an officer in the fucking artillery division at 17 years old. That's crazy.
Yep. No, that's not jumping ahead. That's the next thing I was going to say. Yeah, he becomes an officer in the artillery.
That's insane.
So this child is going to command all these people. Yeah, and obviously most of the army is, younger than you'd imagine because there's not a lot of like 40-year-olds going on. But like it is a little kid who never has fought before being like, you do this, you do that. We're going to fight a war.
You're in charge of the cannons now. And I'm not talking about cigars.
Yeah. You're not talking about bats?
Or snuff. Napoleon is one of the most famous snuffers of all time.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
This is true. He's a big fan. Big fan.
But he's got that big Italian nose to go right up there.
So, has anyone here ever done snuff?
Open passageway.
I have not.
No.
So
do they still make it?
It's just fucking sticking tobacco up your nose, right?
Yeah, I guess instead of having it be on your capillaries in your mouth, it goes to the capillaries in your nose. Is that the idea? Like if you're snorting like drugs or something?
Dude, what the fuck is that?
Pretty much. I mean, hey, it was popular enough that it
I'm not going to dip
a whole
right to the brain.
Wardrobe thing with the fluffer. Was also you had something to sneeze into when you were doing snuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that's what it was for.
Yeah. So the thing is, he had a fucking handkerchief on him that he used to fucking blow. It's just fucking disgusting. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Not much though.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd rather have wiping my face.
Fucking gross. And then he also used to a gazelle is a horse.
It's
right?
it's like a deer. It's a very skinny deer. Think of antelope.
He or an impala.
He had access to gazelles somehow. I'm not really sure the details behind that, but he used to.
I know when he did.
He used to like to give the gazelles snuff, and he said they were very fond of it.
Hey, I have this tobacco buzz, you gazelle.
Yeah,
Did he put up their nose?
He was the first person to blow weed smoke on their dog's nose.
Yeah, he just put the snuff in a straw and just went right up the fucking gazelle's nose, like the ayahuasca guys.
Pretty much. Yep, exactly. So that's just on the note of one of my favorite parts about our friend here, Napoleon.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Keep those notes coming. I like shit like that. That's pretty great.
And he was known to, he liked to blend a couple different of them together, you know?
Oh, yeah. That nice blend.
Yeah, that nice blended snuff. Can't beat it, dude.
You can't have the straight stuff. I mean, you got to blend that shit up.
No, you got to blend it up. Yeah, definitely. Definitely mix it up a little
You're a man of distinguished honor.
Kind of like
but
Dom,
yeah, I guess the number one thing.
With your secret bourbon bottle up top there.
Huh?
Oh, my infinity bottle. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I have a whiskey I have to add to that. You know what?
Do you have
just because you mentioned that, my next drink will be the infinity
Cuddy
bottle.
Sark in there?
Huh?
You should. Definitely. Said, is there any Cuddy Sark in the infinity bottle? I feel like it could use a little bit of that.
Maybe you bring some.
There is not, but it should.
Definitely should.
When I need another drinky poo, I'm going to tap into that.
Sure.
Tap in. Back to our boy Joe. So what's going on?
Yeah. So I guess the first two things I want to mention about that is the first two things that I didn't know about Napoleon. I knew the second thing, but like either way, they're things that everyone knows. Napoleon's a short French guy. Wrong and wrong. He's Italian, and he fights for France, but he's a born and bred Italian boy, a little Italian lad, and he is 5'7". So I wouldn't say that's extremely tall. I'm 5'8", so I think it's pretty tall. I'm just kidding. It's short now, but at the time, with the lack of nutrition and shit like that, he was average height. He wasn't short. Him being short was a propaganda by the British to say he's a little bitch boy, which I'm glad they did because it makes for a lot of funny movies.
If I were a bitch boy.
About this, like he was bullied as a kid.
Yeah.
So he was bullied as a kid. His entire complex, which is world famously known as the Napoleon complex, is because people used to make fun of him for fucking being himself.
Yeah. Well, he was a fucking
was sort
dork.
of part with that.
Yeah, but he was a dork and he wasn't like easy to get along with. But that has nothing to do with his height. They weren't making fun. They weren't making fun of him because he's short. He was the same height as most people he fought alongside, and there's people shorter than him, obviously too. Like 5'5".
Does your source that you received this information from give any information about his bird?
No bird source. And I guess if you're not, the girth of Rasputin, they don't save it after you die because they should have put it in a.
Okay, I feel like it would be good to know.
I feel like wouldn't they have saved that? I feel like Napoleon's penis should be in formaldehyde somewhere right about now.
It should be like death masks. Check it out. They should have just saved every dick back in the day.
Yeah, death penises. They do the thing where you put that clay mold and you make your partner a dildo out of your exact thing.
Form a cock or whatever.
They actually do
I have
that.
a story about a relative of mine who made their wife, one of my aunts, a wooden replica of his dick.
That is even more insane.
This is my aunt and uncle, and then his stepdaughter, when they were kids, this is like the 80s, was very mad at them and put cayenne pepper on it.
Oh my god!
Because this was a functional replica.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not kidding. This is a family secret that I've
that
made
now is on the internet.
That I have been made aware of.
Insane, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, the daughter knowing about it at all is weird. Them using it is weird. Shouldn't it just be like, isn't this a funny gesture?
Welcome to the show, any new listeners?
And then putting cayenne pepper. So she had to go to the hospital, right? You can't just put cayenne pepper up your fucking hoo-ha.
Well, what do? Do you yell at your kids for putting cayenne pepper on your dildo? Or do you
do.
Like, who did this?
Yes, you do, dude. Who else
bring it up?
Really?
See,
I
that blame the husband first,
did
and then besides the husband, who else got in here? Someone broke into our house, didn't steal anything, put cayenne pepper on my wooden dildo, and then left. Like, it's obviously the dot. I would have been pissed. That's not
I
funny.
don't know how I
it's
would.
hilarious, but at the time, it's not.
It's
bad.
pretty funny.
So
But yeah, the guy who built the house that I am in right now.
Wow, just in case
wooden
there's no
replica,
ambiguity, they know exactly who you're talking about now.
A
That's
wooden
the guy.
replica of his dick, and
He's a good woodworker in more ways than one.
Very, honestly,
that's
very
a real
good.
like. If Jackass was started by women, that would be a very early bit. Was putting cayenne pepper on a dildo.
What a
I
wooden.
don't think women take that shit lightly at all. I think they draw the line with putting pepper in your vagina. They're like, that's not funny.
Oh man! Oh,
if
but I
someone
meant
put pepper in my pee hole, I would be quite upset with them. I wouldn't think it was a prank.
Yeah, I know. Well, you guys. Well, have you ever? You guys have gotten hot sauce in your dicks, right?
No,
dude. I got
not since I ate that taco on the toilet.
You've never eaten hot things, then gone pee and accidentally made a mistake.
No,
I mean I've
touched
I'm
the
so
acutely aware.
I've
got it on
gone
like
to
my
take a
face
piss,
and like my nose and eyes and stuff like that. But like whenever I go to the bathroom at that, I'm already acute because I've heard too many horror stories.
Yeah,
Dylan, this ties perfectly to your whole let's do a
drugs?
podcast about nothing. One Labor Day, I was fucking hammered. My dad used to always trick Jeff into eating hot peppers. Jeff wasn't there, so I was eating sweet peppers. My dad goes, "Here, eat that one." I go, "So sweet?" He goes, "Yeah, it was a fucking habanero." I'm sweating like crazy. I wipe my forehead with the oils. That wasn't good. Then I go to take a piss, and now my dick's burning for
strike 3,
30 minutes.
Yeah,
but that's not in the pee hole like you were talking about before.
Yeah, in the pee hole is gonna be the worst of all.
Yeah, I've got it in the pee hole because
every time you piss, you wipe your dick with your finger, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like you're wiping your mouth.
Every time he pisses, he uses a cord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. What it was. No, but I didn't
feel the sensation until it was too late.
I put hot sauce on my forearm and then covered it with a Band-Aid. It went to bed because I want to see if it would burn me. And
did it?
Shocker, touched my bird when I was sleeping. And big mistake.
I wanted to see if it would burn me. Well, how's it work on your tongue? Do you think that'll work for any other part? It's just the mouth that burns.
Capsaicin's a strange thing.
It's not actually. Yeah, but no, capsaicin is. There's no actual heat there. It's a chemical that produces the essence of heat.
Oh, I know. I was exactly, but I was looking to
you
get
mean the sensation of heat.
Yeah. If anything, you're going to get burned by the acidic qualities of it, not anything else.
No. You said it correctly. I was like, what are you talking about? It's not hot. Like, no, it is hot, but it's spicy, not temperature wise.
Yeah, there's no actual heat.
But it causes your blood to rise up. Like your body gets hotter.
When I make this promo, I'm just going to have to grab that clip from the Biggest Dicks podcast and do the clip where Joe just goes, "All right, great. We're starting with 30 minutes of cock talk."
We always do. That's just the way it is. That's why I just couldn't let it start with 40 minutes of American Dad talk on my Napoleon episode that we're doing here today.
Yeah, and on that note, let's get back to Napoleon's penis.
Napoleon
I have some updates for you guys. Who wants?
He had a little ball bag.
Who wants to hear some updates about Napoleon's penis? I do.
I do
too.
So, it was amputated after his death.
They saved it.
During his autopsy, they did cut it off in 1821.
No death spoilers, but just let us know.
And since then, it has been owned by many people.
Okay, so it is still here. We're so glad.
Hang on, I'm not at the end yet, but some guy named A.S.W. Rosenbach who exhibited in New York City in 1927. And then later, after that, it was purchased by John Latimer in 1977 and is still held in his family. Who keeps it, and they keep it as a private item.
Come on, the world needs to see it. Donate it to the museums for science.
And as of now, it is similar in looks to a piece of leather or a shriveled eel.
At this point, yeah, I guess it's just
and
left of it.
The preserved penis was described by none other than Judith Pascoe in the New York Times as barely recognizable as a human body part, and
let alone a famous monarch's penis.
Exactly. And on a documentary, it was described as very small, and measured it to be 1 inches. But they don't
come
know.
On. Give the guy a break.
No. But that's
now.
Right now. That doesn't
that's
mean
what I mean.
That...
I mean, get out of a cold pool on 1 inches. Never mind.
You got to press against the pelvic bone to measure that thing. Come on.
Yeah, you go from the ass twice around the balls and then up the shaft. That's how you measure, right?
That's exactly it.
And Joe's is still only 4 inches.
Okay, I have big balls. What are you gonna say? All right.
What, you want to fight about it?
So it's just his penis has been all over the world. I mean, it's been auctioned off. It's been all over the place. The current family right now. Time, right? And dude, guess how much John Latimer, who was a urologist and artifact collector,
was he? Oh, yeah. It's part of my profession. I have to buy Napoleon's dick.
I collect dicks and I work on them. I work on a lot of ones.
Like I had to buy the cannons. Like, oh, I'm a urologist.
I studied to be a urologist to explain to my wife my hobby of collecting penises.
Yeah.
This
whole medical 5 years ago.
Prove that I can do this. So, this is the last time it was sold in 1977, and guess how much John Latimer paid for Napoleon's dick?
Too much.
All right, this is 1977 money, so we have to adjust for inflation. I'm gonna say $300,000.
Dom?
Holy shit! I wasn't gonna go that high. I was gonna say like 75,000.
It's a piece of Napoleon. If it was his finger, it could go for
Napoleon's dick got sold in 1977 for $3,000.
That's it? Yeah. I don't think it's his dick. I think this is a piece of beef jerky. $3,000 is it?
Little piece right here.
Dude, I feel like if they sold Joe Biden's pinky, it would go for $5,000 today.
A weenus in an air fryer.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's hard to look at it or show it off, but like if you actually certifiedly know that that's Napoleon's dick, it should be worth more than $3,000. I would think. I mean, come on.
Oh, this
Brad
is
Pitt's dick would be worth $1 million yesterday, and he's not even dead yet. He might grow another one.
the guy who owns it. Sorry, it's just so funny. The guy who owns it, he's now dead, so his daughter has possession of it.
Oh, good. We wanted to go out of the family.
Yeah, I know. It's a family.
What did I get from
family
the
jewel.
Oh, great! I got the dick collection.
Well, my dad's a urologist. It's not weird.
He also wrote a biography of Nazi leaders. It's his other thing he did.
Oh, he's a
urologist
cool guy.
and Nazi leader autobiographer.
I also have Goering's foreskin as part of my collection.
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck? You guys freak.
You guys want to see Hermann Goering's dick? I have it.
It only cost me $1,000. It's a steal.
Exactly. I paid a lot more for Napoleon's. This one's
and this one's way bigger too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 3 inches.
Yeah. Oh man, it's real good. Yeah, and I actually have a dick from just a German soldier I was able to get too, just a random one.
Everyone knows that Aryan dicks go for more than Italian dicks.
He never actually served. He caught the fucking influenza and died, but this is the dick that's not seen action.
Yes, exactly.
In more ways than one. It's a version.
As in with no. Cool guy.
You can tell because his dick hymen's still in.
As where Hitler's dick was MIA.
Yeah, but guess I have a feeling I know a buyer if it was for sale.
I know a few people who might want to buy it.
I know a dude who wants to add it to the collection.
A fine addition to my collection.
Yeah, Richard Johnson.
Yeah, this guy is. Oof. I mean, I guess if you're the daughter, you have to laugh, right? Because how else can you be like, yeah, this is the thing we have?
This is what I said.
Dude, I would show everyone if I was the daughter. I would show every single person that came into my house. Like,
yeah, but if you were the daughter, you wouldn't be you.
You can't get in the fucking home without putting your hand up, doing touching it like all those famous statues. Like,
it starts to wear away because of all the sweat that's gone out.
Yep, exactly.
They all kiss it.
Yeah. They all kiss it, exactly.
It's just a 2 centimeter indent of a lip marks over the 100 years of people kissing the dick jar.
This is my holy ground.
This is
enter my home.
Exactly. We talked about this before, but the real rich people, they have obviously crazy expensive art, and then stolen things. Like someone probably has the Ark of the Covenant as their coffee table.
Yeah, and the guy has the fucking Isabella Stewart Gardner painting over his fucking bathroom.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, exactly. In his fucking apartment, and then someone has
his not his apartment. His fucking mansion, dude.
It could be either, but and fucking someone has Napoleon's dick. Like, what a great thing to own. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's
crazy,
the shit
dude.
I'm into.
That is you're writing the perfect pastiche for us to go ahead of the story that as much as you rise to power, as powerful as you can be, one day your dick is going to be in a urologist's house in 1977 in America. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it, bitch.
That's a fucking honor. I mean, imagine you're that famous where people are selling your
dick. We should all be so lucky that our dicks would still be on the marketplace 100 years after our death.
It's awesome. Say that or it's
I don't know.
Cremated or buried, lame.
I don't know. The idea of that happening to me while I'm alive, I mean, that happened to me when I'm going to die, but while I'm alive, that's a very scary thought to think that I'd be separated from it, for a long period of time. But I guess when you're dead, you don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that in mind, and do not forget about that fact going forward with everything we say.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. To story Napoleon. So as Dom said, he joins the artillery corps. He's the officer of the French artillery. And he couldn't signed up at the perfect time. He's in Corsica doing his little Corsican regiment, which is basically like, the Hawaii regiment in America, where it's like, yeah, you're not really there, but you're still part of us, and we'll still call on you when the time comes. But he timed it out perfectly, where as soon as he becomes an officer, the fucking French Revolution happens. And there's a need for cannons and for people who know how to operate them. So he goes, hey, here's my time. I'm heading on up there right now. So by the age of 19, Napoleon is commanding a regiment of the rebel forces. So in the French Revolution, we can't get into the whole thing, but basically it's not like the American Revolution. It's a big mess. America didn't have an aristocracy and kings and a whole thing. So there's still people in France who are loyal to them, but most people aren't because, they're rich as fuck. Plus they just saw what America did and they go, oh, we can do that shit too here. I mean, we helped them do it. Might as well do it here. And so Napoleon gets basically hired because of the way that these things work to fight for the revolution against the royalist armies. And so he fights a couple battles, skirmishes here and there, but he really cuts his teeth, as they say, in the Battle of Toulon, which I thought I was being a real smart guy when I heard that, and I wrote down Tulane, because it's like, oh, it's French, Toulon. But no, it's not that. Even though Tulane is French, but it's different. It's Toulon. It's Toulon, different place. There's a fort that the royalists have that cannot be taken. And Napoleon goes, if we were in that fort, we could command this entire area and we'd be running shit. All we have to do is take that fort and then move our cannons in there or lights out guerrilla radio. And they're like,
and the reason they were moving the cannons in there is because the other people had held that for too long.
Too long. And so Napoleon does his first, no, that was good stuff. And Napoleon does his first feat that makes him noticeable, where he succeeds. He takes that fort over, they roll the cannons in there, and they run shit to the point where it's like people in the French resistance are like, this guy's crazy. This kid comes in here, he's 19 years old. He takes over this fort. We're running shit here. This guy is amazing. And we're going to notice our first thing about Napoleon, at the two things that he's best at: military strategy and making himself look good. And I would say that's not in the right order. I'd say he's good at making himself look good, and secondary, military strategy. Because when you look at his whole career, the best thing he is good at is making himself look good. And then military strategy is, a close second, but it's not number one. I don't think he's better at strategy than making himself look good. I think a lot of, world leaders and dictators, that's the skill set. You can be good at something else, but your number one thing has to be, I look great. Everyone needs to, get behind me on this. And that's the best strategy you can have, is being the top shit. So he does that. And, a bunch of upheaval happens. The fucking people are getting guillotined left and right. There's
left and right. Dude.
The reign of terror happens. Robespierre has the reign of the guys. They're fucking killing people everywhere. And Napoleon's like, hey, I guess we're winning this thing. Looking pretty nice for me. I'm glad I won that big battle. He's getting invited to all these fancy parties. He's like, aren't you that kid who won Toulon? He's like, you better believe it. And I'm not Corsican. I'm French now. And they're like, oh, you're all right. We're like you. I think you're going to get along with us just fine. So, after that happens, things settle down for about a year as the Reign of Terror is winding up, and they try to start a whole new French government. So they're having all these, we need to make it a democracy now. We need to do this, to do that. But it doesn't go as smoothly as the United States, where as soon as we win, we just start setting shit up. They actually can't stop fighting about it. And 2 years in, they still haven't figured it out yet. And the people are fucking pissed. Whoa. People are starving. They're still fighting. There's still rebellions happening. It's not good. And so Napoleon's sitting there being like, I'm not a politician, I'm a soldier. So I'm just waiting for the next thing you need to point me at, where I put my cannons out there and fire away. And the next person who asks him to point cannons is the royalists, the people who want the king back. They go, hey, Napoleon, last time you were so good at killing us, wouldn't you be good at killing other people? And he's like, I see which way the wind's blowing. Even though he didn't like his father, he's very much his father's son there. And he saw they might be winning this next time. I'm going to join them. So the royalists hire Napoleon to quell the new rebellion. Money. And Napoleon famously rolls his cannons into Paris, and over basically a riot of rebellion, he fires grape shot into the crowd of people. Remember what grape shot is from our pirate episode? Sure, it's just bundles. It's usually shotguns for cannons. So he annihilates these folks, and he's a hero again. He's now won 2 battles for both sides, and they can't get enough of him. They're like, this guy's the best. Crowd control. This guy rocks.
No matter what he does, we still like him. It's kind of like that whole Kobe thing.
Still love him. But
and I don't mean the helicopter.
Too soon. No, he means the raping. Too long. Sorry, YouTube will erase that. But yeah, so now within a 3-year span, he's won battles for both sides, and everyone seems to like him. And he seems more like a mercenary at this point, even though he's like, I'm Vive la France, but whatever France is going to be, I'll fight for that France. I'm not fighting for a particular France, just whatever France pays me and says I'm the shit. So that is forming the new Republic of France. So the royalists, they're winning in that sense, and then he's named now, because of his actions for them, Commander of Italy, of the Army of Italy. Now, that does sound pretty impressive. Obviously, he's an Italian boy, and to be commander of the Italian army is got to be a great honor. But let's not forget, at this time, Italy isn't Italy. It's a bunch of kingdoms that are all wound up together. So we have like Genoa, Venetia, Napoli. They're all just separate places that are we now call them Italy, but at the time they're all separate. So the Army of Italy has about 20,000 men. Nothing to shake a stick at, but in modern warfare at the time, that's not a very big regiment. And also, it's not a very expert regiment because it's a bunch of Italian kids who have never fought in wars like these French soldiers fought in wars. I mean, France
in wars, they fought plenty.
Year after year.
It's not in wars. Come on.
What'd you say?
I said, in wars, the Italian kids have fought plenty.
That's what I said.
Stupid shit. But not in war.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not in full war. But they fight each other, all that stuff. But yeah, like these French soldiers, a lot of them, they're fucking veterans. I mean, the French have been fighting wars for years and years and years. All of Europe at this time is literally risk. Every single year, it's Austria, it's Prussia, it's Britain, it's Spain, it's Russia. Like they're all just Sweden. They're all constantly fighting. So a lot of these French soldiers have been fighting for years. Like they're like battle hardened. And these Italian boys, they don't have what it is. But Napoleon does the thing that he's third best at and goes, I'm going to rally the troops. He goes down to Italy and he goes, all right, they've already, said we're counted out. You guys aren't tough. He goes, but guess what? I'm after glory and so are you. And you're going to come with me. We're going to rise up. We're going to kill those fucking Austrians. And I'm going to seize glory and I'm going to drag you all along with me. Now, who's with me, you motherfuckers? And they all go, yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking kill people. And he goes, let's go. At that time,
Joe.
You wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. You don't know who you are or where you are. Has truly been 90 episodes? You don't know, as panic strikes your face. You reach over to your wife for comfort. As you turn her shoulder to the side, you realize she's an arthropod, a crustacean maiden. Your wife is a spidery creature of the depths. You've now entered the basement. So the next thing that Napoleon does is takes all his Italian boys north. They're going up north to fight the Austrian Empire, which again, on the list of countries that were like, oh, they're so powerful, they're so scary. Who gives a shit about Austria? Prussia doesn't exist anymore. France? But at the time, these are the fucking heavy hitters. It's like Russia against fucking United States. Like, these are the big ballers. And they're all, legacy money. And Napoleon's like, I'm going to take my ragtag band of paisans, and we're going to go up there and kick their ass. And Napoleon shows off his main shit that he always does, which is speed, stealth, and cutting off supplies. That's his move. Which now we're like, that's textbook. But at the time, speed was not the move. I mean, it's not worth it. You have all these supply lines, you have all these soldiers, they're walking, you get horses, it's the whole thing. But Napoleon was like, it's worth it to tire the guys out to get in the right position, because if you cut them off, they won't even have to have half the effort once you get there.
And
this is still the lineup in a row. All right, you ready to go? Kind of warfare.
Yes.
So getting there faster than they expect is definitely a huge advantage.
Yeah, there's no running and gunning.
Something he was great at was with his hands. He was starting, obviously, because his background in artillery, just like that, Dom. Yeah, he was like a big
part of the Happy Hands Club.
Part of the development of the French army's hand signals. He was big into, like
really
this, fucking. I see you, two dudes. Me see two guys. Two guys. 4 AK-47s that way, like that type of stuff.
That's good. Yeah, because you don't have radio communication, so everything that you can barely hear you over the gunfire. The hand signals are huge.
Yeah, he goes. See, I see two dudes blowing each other. 4 o'clock.
Kill them.
4 o'clock.
Kill them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was great. He was like, I'm not kidding. He was part of like the.
That's cool.
I don't know if you call this the discipline of hand movements, but he was.
That is exactly what I would call it, the discipline of hand
developing movements. It for the army, and
these are all things you listeners are missing without watching the YouTube video. I mean, Dylan is killing it with these hand movements.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is why I never promote the Spotify to people. I always promote the YouTube channel.
You gotta watch it. So yeah, he's
so you can see us all take a drink at the same time unplanned, like that happens.
You can tell on the dead air. So that's why he's out maneuvering. And even though he's a young man at this time, and he's just getting around, he's been promoted to brigadier general by this point after he became the royalist person killer. And he's 24 years old. He goes up there, kicks the shit out of these Austrians. They tuck tail and they run away, which will be the first time of many that Napoleon goes up against those Austrians and they have to watch out. God damn it, my drop didn't play. I knew it wouldn't play.
Ooh, you son of a bitch.
No, it's not that. It's a new one, and I put all the effort into it. It's not working. There it is.
Yes!
Napoleon, make yourself a dang quesadilla.
Yeah, Max Mom? Hell yeah.
Oh, no, they're not going to work now.
Napoleon, looks like you don't have a job.
Anyway, so Napoleon kicks the shit out of there, and he basically goes home a hero because Austria goes and tucks tail, and he goes back to France saying, hey, I won the entire southern campaign. I'm a young lad. What are we going to do now? And Paris is like, hey, now we're sitting pretty. Britain's back in their corner. Basically, the world has teamed up against France at this point. Britain is their rival. It's basically like Britain is America, France is Russia, or you can switch them whatever you want to do. And then all the other puppet states are helping them, but they're all very powerful. So there's Britain, Russia, Prussia, Sweden, and Austria are all fighting France.
What years are we at now?
Now we are at...
Sick, dude.
Hell yeah, Steve Spiro. Yeah.
What year again?
God damn it.
Got some time to kill? Get bowling, baseball, golf, and more with Get It Now, only from Verizon Wireless.
Or check out the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast, available on Titties. It's definitely on Titties, don't forget that. Or check out the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. Or check out the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast, available on Spotify and YouTube. Episodes 90 coming too. Gotta do that again because I fucked that up.
1797, that's what year it is at this time.
1797. Yeah, so what you're saying is the British are coming hot off of a loss. A huge loss.
Pissed.
The first loss of their campaign. And they're like, you know what? Fuck these French.
Yeah, and little do they know, they're about to lose a bunch of colonies in the next 50 years, and they don't like that.
Hey, yeah. World leaders in cause of Independence Day. I mean, that's something.
Yes. And I didn't learn this until later in the story, but this is a big notion to know for the whole story, is that in this time in the world, France is the most powerful army in the world. They rule the land. No one can beat France on land. And
no one else can make croissants either.
Well, that's goes without saying. And it should go without saying, so don't say it. And so Britain rules the water. So they rule the oceans. So that it makes you more rich because ruling the oceans is the money. But basically, no one can beat Britain in the water. No one can beat France on land. And no one can beat Mike Tyson in his prime.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
And so Napoleon goes back to Paris. And now, he's won already. But, all those powers have run back. So Britain stopped fighting, Austria, all the places, and now
Napoleon, looks like you don't have a job.
So he's got to find something to do now. And he's going to have to go back to France and go, we should do some more conquering. And France is like, I don't know, man. It's kind of tumultuous around here still. We just won a war against everyone's coming on all sides from us. And Napoleon goes, no. I have a good idea. We need to spread out. If we want to cut these British off at their heels, we need to go into the Middle East. Britain has all these colonies there. They're making all this kinds of money. I think France should go down there, and France should do some shit. So Napoleon does his Alexander the Great shit, which he loves he loves Caesar, loved all the shit. Like all those crazy, authoritarian leaders do. They worship these old godheads like Caesar and Alexander.
Yeah.
And
they're like, that thing that guy did that worked well for, so I can do that.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll go to the same spot. And so he does. He goes, we should go to Egypt and start running shit there. And then Paris goes, all right, well.
Oh, and we can't afford the fun pack. What do you think, money grows on trees in this family? Take it back.
I said the 12 pack, I'm 24. What's a mix and match? Get some papers from your brothers while you're at it.
Napoleon's like, it'll be worth it, trust me. So Napoleon goes down to Egypt, and he not only brings an entire, army with him, he brings scientists, he brings historians, and he brings merchants because he's about to set up shop there, which includes France running in there. There's all these kinds of great paintings with that. They're like, hey, we're down here. It's an expedition, but it's of the time where we know what time it is. They're going down there to rob the shit out of them. They go down there. They steal all their shit. They go, don't worry about it. They have translators. So Napoleon's like, we're going to be an ally with you. He just lied to their face. He doesn't care. He's just like, what are you going to do to stop us? Egypt? You were good a long time ago. And he famously uses his cannons to take pot shots at the Great Pyramid, which the holes are still there from Napoleon shooting at it, being like, isn't that something? Like, what a piece of shit move.
I'm a great artillerist.
And he promised them the world. He was like, Egypt, if you team up with me, Britain's going to get out of here. You do all your own shit. It's fine. He's just lying right to their face, does not care. And, a lot of the scientists that are left there, they just basically steal all kinds of shit. And they learn a lot. A lot of what we know from Egypt comes from this time because, European countries hadn't really done a deep dive in there. And, of course, since we have. But that's what happened. So, Britain doesn't take this lightly. And Britain goes, you're marching on our territory. We like the Middle East. We like India and all the Asian situations, Africa. That's our shit. So Britain goes, we're going to respond to this. Napoleon's down there. We're going to send our bad boy down there to fight the way we like to fight, which is on the water. And so where do you fight on the water in Egypt? You fight in the Nile. So Britain sends ships to the Nile to fight the French ships. And who do they send? Their number one bad bomber, Admiral Nelson. The Addie Nelson. They send the guy. The guy that the rum is named after.
The guy, he's worse than Sailor Jerry. He's worse than Captain Morgan. But goddamn, Admiral Nelson's
but he gets
third
results.
in line.
Captain Morgan didn't have the amount of strategic victories as Admiral Nelson did.
And he didn't give nearly as many tattoos as Sailor Jerry.
No. Dylan, thoughts on Admiral Nelson? Anything?
Good question. Thoughts on Admiral Nelson? I don't have a whole lot on him.
That's okay.
I'm just assuming, just like the Cutty Sark, he was a raging alcoholic.
Has to be, right?
Has to be. You don't get the honor of being named after a hard liquor without
liquoring hard.
Without being a guy who likes the liquor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say probably dude was fucking tanked all the time and an admiral at the same time. Did both, 2 jobs at once.
Yeah.
And he did it well.
I mean, I believe we're still in time. I think we're still in time period of alcohol being part of your daily ration in the British Navy. I think that's still that time period.
Well, dude, some navies are like dry, like the U.S. Navy. No one drinks on carriers, but other navies, like the British, they fucking drink on them ships. And how don't you? You know, like
what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, what else do you have sex
it's
with?
Simply
men
too good.
That too.
That's a given.
Madame Voyage is only one person.
Doesn't count. Everyone knows that when you're in the Navy. It doesn't count for that. It's just okay.
So I have to speed up our thing here. I'm sorry, guys. We have to get to the end.
Okay, but 1807. Just let me know before we get to that because I have a very important thing in 1807.
I have dates and I'll let you know. But I'm saying I'm rushing, but I'm going to take 20 more minutes to finish this. So, anyways, so Admiral Nelson comes in. He is booze bag, but he's fucking good at his job. He goes down there, he fucks them up because don't forget the British are the best at the water. So they go down there, they fuck the shit out of them, and then Napoleon goes, "This isn't going so well. I didn't know the British would come down on the Nile and fuck us up. I was thinking maybe I would win on land and take over Egypt for a while." So Napoleon, this doesn't get mentioned very much in the history books. He abandons his army. He goes, "Fuck, we're gonna lose. I'm out of here," and he leaves them all to die. All the guys he brought to Egypt with him. It must have been a 3-month, 4-month trip. He leaves them there, takes his most trusted advisors and his like guard, and they sail back to France. And he gets there before the news gets there. He goes, "We did great. It was a fucking great success." He's like, "Here, look at this Egyptian pot I got for you guys. It's going great down there." And France, they're back up in their royal shit. They're like, "You know what? The revolution was a bad idea, but Napoleon, you're great, dude. It's back to kingdom style. England sucks. We got all this shit." And he literally abandoned like 20,000 men to die there because he was like, "Fuck you guys. I'm going to lose. I won't lose." And he got back to France fast enough that he lied. And by the time the news got back that he was wrong, he was on to the next one. He didn't fucking care. He's like, "It's fine. I don't care." Because his job is making himself look good, which is his best quality.
I do have something about Admiral Nelson that I would like to share.
Let's hear it.
Because I just remembered this. So Admiral Nelson was killed on the HMS Victory, which was basically the fucking constitution of the British Navy.
That story is coming up. One of the best. Go ahead though. Yeah, one of the best naval battles ever. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, great naval battle. But Admiral Nelson was just like they preserved Napoleon's dick. They preserved the entire body.
Our correspondent Dylan Reed with the dick preservation news. For you, Dylan?
Oh, this is more than that. They put
more
Admiral
than the dick preservation news.
So once he was killed by a sniper, a French sniper, they put his body in a cask of brandy or rum to allow to transport it back to England.
Had to have been rum.
On board in a fucking bottle of alcohol, of hard alcohol. They
pickled his whole body. What a fucking beast.
And then they knew the body was in there. And then there's something called, back in the day, they called it sucking the monkey. And
we have something like that now.
Do you guys know what that is?
Gay!
Do you guys know what sucking the monkey is?
I do not.
I can't wait to find out.
Okay, well, it's if you put you fucking drill a secret hole in a cask and put a straw in it and drink it like that.
Nice.
And
doesn't it come spilling out though?
Well, put it through the top, dude. Put a big fucking straw.
Oh, through the top, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it has. This is how alcohol poisoning was invented.
No one should have access to that much alcohol. No one's rich enough to have that much.
Yeah, this is how that all started. So
many brave men and women died sucking the monkey on open
sucking
seas.
The monkey, dude. So Admiral Nelson's brand alcohol is really kind of a term for Nelson's blood, being used to describe brandy or rum because when they got back to port, the fucking barrel he was in was dry. So people tapped
I'm so glad you looked that up.
People tapped in. People tapped into his fucking keg and drank it with his dead body in there. And
not only was he a booze bag, he was the booze. He was the liquor, Randy.
He was the liquor, dude. They finished the whole fucking thing.
Dude, that's like
all his body, his fluids, and all his skin cells, and everything, just drinking his body out.
Just drank the shit. Drank the shit out of him, dude.
That's like an early version of like sneaking your parents' vodka and topping it with water until it freezes. And they're like, hey, oh shit, did we drink too much of that? Well, I didn't think you were going to notice.
But the chickens,
but they didn't top it up.
It's not like they're like, oh yeah, you put water in my vodka. It's like, what happened to all the preservation liquid we had?
Admiral
What the fuck?
He's not.
This is your entire year's salary is the first sip. What the fuck are you doing drinking the whole thing? We got bored.
Yeah, we weren't going to let it all go to waste, so we had to drink it. So
and they had to face the music. I would have been like, I fell overboard the whole thing, including him. They come back with the dry keg, and they're like, what? Say something. What do you mean say something?
We brought you the body.
There's not one drop in here.
And so the other term is, and there's a pub in London, somewhere in England named Tapping the Admiral, and that's what they're called. They're like, they're tapping the Admiral. They tap the fucking Admiral's barrel.
How often do their barrels get examined for dead bodies and stuff?
They should examine it. But I have to sympathize with these sailors to some degree, because imagine you have a full barrel of rum for the ride home, and they're like, all right, we're putting the dead captain in there. I'm like, whoa, hey, what the fuck? The whole barrel? Oh,
don't use that.
Now we have to tap the monkey, because we got to drink something on the way back.
Well, and the thing is, dude, you're out sea, you're at war, you're probably thinking you're going to die anyways or get fucking some crazy disease.
And you're right.
I got to say, I'd be drinking it.
I would drink the dead guy barrel.
I would. Juice, no question.
4 months in,
brandy or rum, it's gonna be fine.
Haven't seen a hide nor hair of a lady. You're being eating hardtack for 4 months. I'll drink the fucking body. I don't care.
How strong the fucking alcohol was back then? Because they had no way of really.
No idea. Yeah, they had no
clue. And
there's a good chance your mouth was
100 proof fucking brandy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
it kills all the bad stuff, you know.
Yeah, dude, they weren't
I'm
doing
not judging them for that.
45% stuff. This is post 90 proof. You know
I'm not eating him.
Yeah,
I'm not a monster.
The thing is, honestly, it sounds like a good deal because there's probably some guys who wouldn't drink that, so it just means more for cool dudes.
Yeah, exactly.
That one guy is finally, he's so desperate. All right, guys, I'm going to go tap the monkey. Like, oh, no, we kicked that guy a couple days ago. That shit's dry.
They're like, guys, we're finally going to tap it. Guys, I made the decision. We really should tap the Admiral. They're like, oh, that's fucking old news.
That's old news.
Imagine, and honestly,
they couldn't deal with it anymore. And I was like, no, we tapped that shit that day, dude. That was
day of.
Day of.
He went in dry. We never even tapped it. We just drank the whole thing. Put him in dry. I'm making the decision. We should eat his toes. There's some booze soaked in by now.
Exactly. Yeah, you smoke him after.
Who cares with the toes, right? We keep his face.
I mean, we're talking a 3 month.
His liver has got to be hot stuff by that. Just eat that whole thing and just get hammered. Yeah. And you're not hungry anymore.
If we're talking a 3 month journey back home. It's not like they ran out as they pulled the port. They probably had like a month and a half of no rum.
They ran out well before that.
Yeah.
They were like, fuck, we should have saved the bottom half for the last part. This is the worst part. We're almost home.
Could have gotten even more protein into it.
Your fucking skin is like you've been sunburned for 3 months, just peeling.
Imagine
French guys, dude. They're fucking peeling their whole.
That must be fucking awful.
That's a good dumb. I want to highlight what you just said. Can you repeat that?
Imagine an 1807 hangover. That must be fucking terrible.
Geez. Classic hangover. Classic original hangover.
Nothing to help you.
Next time I wake up hungover, I'm gonna be like, at least it's not an 1807.
Yeah, you're in a bed in a house, and there's a tap of water. That's already way above what they had.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna die.
And the ship's rocking. Imagine being nauseous, a hangover, and it just goes like this for fucking the entire day, 24 hours.
Someone yaks.
I'd be like, can someone just put a fucking musket ball through my head? Good Lord.
My favorite hangover thought is like a Sodom and Gomorrah hangover. You know, you're just having these big wine sex parties, and then you just pass out in a dirt fucking.
You wake up and it's before
just
Christ.
Rats fucking on you.
You live in the desert.
You slept on a rock. That is your bed.
On a rock, yeah. If you're lucky, a bale of hay.
It was a rock lobster.
rats and shit in the running down the streets, and you're like, oh my god, this is really bad. I'm really in bad shape right now. Trust me on this one.
Now.
Wait, where's my wallet? Oh yeah, I don't have any money or anything.
Yeah. Sodom and Gomorrah invented alcoholism.
Yeah,
so
I don't know why I said it like that.
Gay sex.
Definitely.
We have to keep moving here. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yep.
Okay, that was very important.
That was good. That was a good one.
Thank you for that, Dylan. Every time you're going to bring shit like that up, do not hesitate. That's great.
Okay. All right.
So anyways, Napoleon, once again, goes back to France, and he's like, we're doing good.
Napoleon, looks like you don't have a job.
So he needs to figure out a new thing to do. And he goes, my new job should probably be, I don't know, the leader of the entire French world. That would be a good idea. So he stages a coup d'etat, the original phrase coming from France, a coup d'etat. And he goes, I'm going to take all my soldiers who are loyal to me. We're going to march on French Parliament. I'm going to give a grand speech. And I'm going to convince all these people to give me power, like emergency powers, like Caesar style.
We'll kill them all. It's simple.
Palpatine style.
It's really simple.
But we won't say that to them until they disagree. Because it's going to go so well, we won't have to resort to that. So he gets up on stage. Literally, they walk in with soldiers. Napoleon walks in, I'm Napoleon, all this stuff. And he goes, silence, whatever it is in French. And French, whatever it is, French. And he gets up on the pulpit and he goes, listen to me. I'm a war hero. I won remember Toulon? Remember how you guys wanted me to kill all those people? I did all that. And then remember in Africa, as far as you know, I did a great job. All right, so now I should be a leader because I'm obviously a military commander. We need military strength right now. All these aristocrats, all these politicians, yada, yada. He does a whole speech. No one buys it. The entire parliament's like, boo, no, get the fuck out of here. You suck at public speaking. And he goes,
he's like, I wasn't asking.
How'd you know? He goes, you know how I'm really good at talking to? My soldiers. And all his soldiers start pushing these guys out of the room. And Napoleon goes, that guy tried to kill me. And they're like, what? No? And they go, ah! And they have a whole freak out. And he accuses the guy trying to kill him. The whole soldiers, they take him up, they kill a couple people, they push him out of parliament. And Napoleon just seizes power that way. Classic coup d'etat. He's like, now I'm the leader of France. And he goes, but I'm not the king of France. That's ridiculous. I'm a man of the people. I'm going to call myself the first consul of France, and we'll hire 2 other consuls, and we'll be voted on. And if the French people decide we should rule. Democracy. Let's vote. So he has a vote, and he has all his guys completely fix the vote so that he wins. He was already maybe going to win, but he doesn't want to win by 51%. He wants to win by 99%, like classic, despot mode, dictator mode. So they fixed the vote so he wins like 95%. He maybe would have won 50, maybe not. I don't know. But so he wins that vote and he goes, now I'm the first consul. And he actually does a good job. That's the weird part. Once he's ruling, he consolidates a bunch of French power. He puts in state an education system. He takes all the laws that are in France that are all different laws. There's Germanic laws, there's Roman laws, and he puts it all in a thing called the Napoleonic Code. So France is now united under one system of laws. He does a lot of, he builds roads, all the shit that, dictators have to do to actually gain favor.
Why are they always fucking building roads? Like in the U.S., it's like, he's bringing back the roads and fixing roads. What the
I know. Dude, it's classic.
It's what would Germany do without the Autobahn? I mean, come on.
It's all about
the Roman Empire did that. It's a classic way to be like, people
classic move is just the roads.
They like roads.
Fix the roads.
You want to get there? I'll make it happen.
Yeah. It's a day-to-day thing
drive
that
a car there? Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. It's all about the roads.
If you grow like more, poppy seeds, no one notices that. But if the roads are good, you're like, all right, they're doing something.
The Germans are like, well, I don't want to go anywhere, but I want to be able to go as fast as possible.
So Hitler was like, I fucking agree, and let's make the Autobahn.
All right, hop in your Volkswagen Beetle and try to hit 60.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure the trains run on time.
Yeah, because if the train's on time, I can get to work by 9.
Exactly. That's what Adolf Hitler said back in his day.
Mm-hmm.
So after he did all those things that were good for France, admittedly at the time. One of the main things he did, though, because they were a conservative government, he took away all womenens' rights immediately. He goes, okay, we're all on board, right? Got the roads,
let's not do
education, and also all women's rights are gone. Women cannot no longer decide where they live. If they're married, their husband gets to tell them where they live, how they live. Husbands have full say what happens to the children. Women have no say. And it's so extreme that husbands are allowed to bring mistresses into their house and women can't say shit about it. And if they get divorced, they have to go to jail. Okay, that's kind of okay. But you can see how in a conservative upheaval, a lot of guys are like, "That sounds great. What's not good about this? I like this guy. Like, you're a piece of shit." But okay, yeah, you like him. That's great. So Napoleon is like, "I'm getting bored. I'm running the country now." And as that's happening, the boys are back in town. Britain, Austria, Prussia, and Russia are like, and Sweden are like, "The fuck, this guy." He came back there, and now he's the leader. We have to kill this motherfucker. We're so mad at him. We have to take him out, and I couldn't be more pissed about it.
Knock it off, Napoleon. Make yourself a dang quesadilla.
So he decides to do another ancient history thing and go, I'm going to cross the Alps like Hannibal when he fought Caesar, because I'm a classic guy. So instead of fighting Austria the classic way, he literally takes an entire army over the Alps, just to make a big scene of it. And unfortunately for Europe, he succeeds in that. So Austria's looking alongside. When you're like playing a video game, you're looking at the hallways. They're looking at each hallway, back and forth. And then you look up, he's right above you. So Napoleon crashes in on them, fucks the shit out of Austria again. Prussia's pissed. Sweden is fearful. And Russia doesn't know what to do. And he wins again. So now there's another peace treaty. And Napoleon goes, okay, guys. I beat you last time, but now I'm king shit. So you guys are in deep trouble. And you're going to have to concede the things that you wouldn't want to concede to. And they go, okay, we promise we'll not fight you for this long. And we'll do an embargo on this and then whatever that. And they're all just conceding so they can fight again. It's like fighting, your high school rival.
This is like very, very early WWE.
Yeah, yeah. They're coming back again.
Because it's like, oh, here comes Napoleon from the top rope as he's climbing over the Andes and coming down onto them.
He does the splash.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Smashes their asses. Yes. Smashes them up big time. And so then they again sign a treaty. They have to give a bunch of shit, whatever. And Napoleon's still a leader. And Napoleon goes back and goes, I know I've been consul, but I think it's a good idea. We keep getting attacked by all these dickheads. Here's the thing I learned from Caesar. We should have a vote. Maybe I should be consul for life. Wouldn't that be a good idea? That way, I don't have to be reelected, and because I'm so great, you just vote me in as that. So you hold another vote, and wouldn't you believe it, he wins by 99% again. Holy shit, people love this guy. He wins again.
What?
By that much. Holy shit, he did it again. My mind's blown. So then, obviously, once all the European nations see him win consul for life, they're like, all right, is anyone done licking their wounds? Time to go fucking fight this guy again because I hate him so much. And now he's going to be king of France forever, or leader of France. And war starts again. Napoleon goes, listen, I mean, this is another war here. We have to fight it on all fronts. The whole world's against us, and I'm the only man who can save you. So I have a good idea on how to handle this. I think that when I win this war, I should be the emperor of Europe. Is that a good idea?
Wow, what a guy.
So he's like, if you say no, I'm going back to Egypt and I'm just going to let them in.
I don't give a fuck. I'm the guy. Like all of his French bluster and all that, it's all about him. It's all just how can it make me.
Screw Jack Nicholson. I mean, who's Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Jack Nicholson.
Screw Hugh Jackman.
Definitely Jack Nicholson
is the greatest showman.
Hugh Jack Nicholson. That's our new Michael Clark Douglas.
He speaks French.
He speaks French.
He's French.
It's French's mustard and ranch. So
we're not in
how do you become emperor of Europe? It's been done before a couple times, but there's only one way to do it. You have to talk to the Pope. He's the guy who crowns the emperor of Europe. It happened to Charlemagne. It happened to the Habsburgs. It's happened a couple times. Whatever. But the Catholic Church, Church still has a bigger influence in Europe. And if you become, if the Catholic Church says you're the man, you are the man. So he stages this whole thing and he goes, wait a minute, this isn't my idea. Let's hold another vote. Just make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Can you imagine what happens to that vote? You only have to say
98%.
Well,
so they all go, we agree, Napoleon. What are you saying, Dylan?
Napoleon.
Well, are you still going to talk about the Pope? Because I have some Pope info.
I am about to write.
You do your thing. It might not be the same thing as me, so you go on.
Okay, so I'll say mine, then you say yours. So he stages this entire ceremony when he's going to be crowned the emperor of Europe. I mean, emperor of France, but like in his mind, it's like it's all of Europe. So the Pope is there, the Catholic clergy is there, his loyal followers are there, and he walks up. And famously throughout history, what happens is the Pope will crown the emperor, and it'll be like we're on the same team, and the emperor gets down on his knees, and the Pope puts the crown on him and says, "The Catholic Church deems you by God the Pope." Or no, I mean, you're the Pope now. Look at me. You're the Pope now. No, you're the emperor. And so Napoleon, being Napoleon, was like, yeah. I'm only working with you Catholic fuckers because I want to be the Pope of the world and the emperor too. If not, actually, I'm God. So he goes up there and he takes the crown from the Pope's hands and then takes it away from him and then turns to the audience and puts it on his own head. He goes, "I made myself the emperor. The Pope can't do shit." So that's, I mean, there's actually like a famous painting of him doing that exact thing, and all that jazz. But
so my thing with popes is I don't know if that's holds a
crown
to some of Napoleon's other things that he'd like to do with popes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
He kidnapped more than one pope. That was a
thing. You gotta tell me about this. You gotta tell me about this shit.
Pope Pius VI died in his captivity.
Oh my God.
And then his successor, Pope Pius VII, was held hostage by Napoleon for 5 years.
Yeah, so it wasn't really like he was working with them. It's more he was like, "You're gonna do what I say." That's just
the problem is those so he would hire his just way too pious to go against that.
Exactly, he would hire his people to go kidnap the popes when he needed them to shut up.
Yeah, you guys are talking too much. I'm gonna kidnap you real fast.
Yeah, because he needed global leader of the Catholic Church. He needed them to be in his hands. That was
I know exactly how to catch them. In cardboard box, stick, little boy. Here, puppy. Got him every time.
Yep.
Oh my God, my soundboard's not working, and I had the perfect drop. I can't believe it's not working.
It was working good before, you son of a bitch.
I know, but that's just this. That one works fine. I need the new one to work. God damn it. Oh man.
Use your own voice for it.
No, I will not. I will not. It's way funnier if I don't. All right, so
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand.
So he's crowned. Now he's the emperor of the world, basically, in his mind, and he's like, now I'm running shit. And
sorry, just one more time. He's emperor of all of Europe while all of Europe's trying to kill him.
Yes,
the funniest thing ever.
True. But France does own a lot of land. Like in the meantime, like these are the places that are fighting him are like the size. Like I know, like they're pushing into Spain, they're pushing in the Middle East. Like all these states, like Belgium, Germany doesn't exist. Like all these places, they're all Netherlands. They're all owned by France. So like it's a good portion of it is owned by France at that time. To go into that. So to wrap that whole section up before I go into the final segment, it has been 10 years since Napoleon became a, what do you call it? The commander of an artillery unit in France as a 17-year-old. And now he's emperor 27? Of Europe. It took 10 years.
He's not even 30 yet?
27, baby.
Damn, that'll be me in like a month. I'm gonna beat his record.
Are you the emperor of Europe yet? Come on,
yet.
Get on it.
The soft glow of the sunlight hits your closed eyelids as you push sand beneath your toes. This is it, you think. I must have made it. The beach with the wife and the kids. Next thing you know, your fingers are little worms and your mom hates you again. You've now entered the basement.
So Napoleon's emperor now, and you guessed it. Britain's pissed. Another war happens. Britain looks at their buddies. They look at Sweden, Russia, Austria, and Prussia, and they go, "You believe this fucking guy? Let's fight again." And unfortunately, even though Napoleon's been winning a lot in his life, France is strapped for cash. They've been spending money. Wars cost a lot of money, And they recently helped America fight a war, and they lost a bunch of their colonies and shit. They're strapped for cash. So France goes, America, wait a minute. We can make a deal with them. So they need a big influx fast. And the best way to do that is to sell off a bunch of land to America. And that's what they call the Louisiana Purchase.
Woo!
They sell basically a third of America to the United States. And they go, here you go. You buy this. We need some war money for Napoleon to go out there and get crazy. So, even though Britain was rich through the sea, and France is rich through the land, they had to fight again, and they fight.
Oh,
you cocksucking.
The high-pitched ping of an aluminum baseball bat hits your eardrums, and elation washes over your body. Timmy has hit a ground rule double, and you couldn't be more proud of the boy. Or could you? After all, his skeleton is made of lizards, because you've now entered the basement.
So, Napoleon's got his money. He's back to go. He's going to have to fight every single country, and he does it like so. This is when he really pops off. He does a thing that's now recognized in all military, which is he designates it into corps. And this is why we spell corps in America C-O-R-P-S. This is the French way. The Army Corps, the Air Corps.
Yes, because nothing we have is original.
Yeah. And basically the idea is that you're going to be a solo unit. You're tactically on your own. And that means no supply lines. You have to live off the land. You have to conquer as you conquer. And it helps him move fast. And he's able to completely surround the Austrian army without even firing a shot. He even claims, I beat them by walking. Because by the time he surrounded them, they're like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, we haven't been eating. We haven't been camping out. We're just surrounding them. So Austria tucks tail and runs back to Russia. And Russia's like, okay, we'll do our part here in the war. We're going to also run. So then Napoleon chases Russia. Russia goes north, starts running again. And they keep running until Austria is able to supply them from the south. And then Napoleon realizes now he's caught on both fronts. And Napoleon, unlike a usual ruler, doesn't go, well, I have to keep charging Russia and beat them, then I'll turn and face Austria. He goes, oh, I'm going to fight both of them at the same time, but on my terms. So he sends a letter to the king of Russia, Alexander the First. You might recognize his descendants as Anastasia's dad, but he's Alexander the First. And he sends him a letter, and he goes...
And what year are we at now?
I don't know, man. Louisiana Purchase, 1807. If I keep touching this thing, I'm going to knock the microphone off.
No, I know, but 1807 is the time.
Something like that. Yeah, I think
There's
so.
a big thing because he just wins. Let me know when he wins the battle in Russia because I got fact.
No, we're at 1803 is the Louisiana Purchase, so we're a little bit before that. You'll know when I hit Russia because I'll say, now he's in Russia. It's the big Russia.
Okay, yeah.
We're almost there.
It's time's up with yours.
Keep trucking. So he sends a letter to the. This is not in Russia. This is in like modern day like Belgium or something like that. Russian army is there and the king is there, and he sends him a letter. And this is paraphrasing, but he goes, "Oh, I'm just a little boy. I'm scared. Are you guys gonna hurt me? Please don't hurt me. I hope you guys just surrender." And he goes, "Okay, Napoleon's a bitch, turns out. Let's get him." So then him and the Austrian ruler, king, they charge at Napoleon on both sides. And they go, he's weak. He's begging for mercy. And Napoleon's like, that's what I wanted you to think, dumbasses. So he goes back to a ridge, fucks them both up. And the Austrian army runs across a frozen lake to try to escape the attack. And he lights up the lake, sinking them and killing around 3,000 that's a great move. Shoot the lake. Be like, they're going to run through this lake, and I know when they run through the lake, we can just shoot them up. So he basically defeats two armies without actually engaging in formal, front-to-front combat. He just, both times, he just draws them in.
Now, I haven't seen the movie yet, even though I will.
Yeah, me neither.
The one clip I have seen from it is they have the clip of him shooting into the lake.
Yeah,
that movie's worth watching it just so we can see that scene.
Yeah. So now you know when it happened. It was at this time. And in the meantime, as Napoleon was happy about, France conquers Italy.
A fine addition to my collection.
So they're not just, he's the Italian boy. Now his home.
He can be Italian again.
Exactly. And Prussia's like, well, we better get into this stuff. You guys are all losing around. We'll take care of it. And then
where was Prussia again? I don't.
Prussia is like north. It's like Belgium, Lithuania, that kind of area there. All these things are basically like what Germany is now. Like France, Prussia, and Austria all own what is now modern day Germany, but there's no such thing as Germany at the time. So Prussia joins the war, gets their ass whipped. And again, it's treaty time. And this time Napoleon's like, I beat your asses 3 times. You guys are going to have to give up a lot more than you used to. Because every time I beat your ass, you come back. So you have to give up a lot. So they give up a ton of money, a ton of rights, a ton of embargoes. And the only other power now in Europe is Britain. Because he just silenced all these other people. And Britain's like, we're still here. We're not getting up shit. We're on an island.
We're not scared of frozen water. We thrive on water.
Scared of that shit. Exactly. So Napoleon's like, well, now I got to turn my eyes to Spain. And Spain's like, yo, what the fuck? Don't look at us. No. We're looking at you.
We haven't been involved. We left you alone this entire time.
He goes over there and he goes, what's going on here? Meanwhile, the king of Spain's son has recently done a coup d'etat on his own dad. He took his dad out.
Woof.
And he's like, hey, Napoleon, you want to come in here? And Napoleon's like, that's great. You guys are figuring it out. You see what's going on over here. We have it all figured out there, so we'll be all set. So how about this? You guys can be allies with me. Let's meet up in France. The son meets up in France with him, and he goes, I got news for you, buddy. I'm the king of Spain now. He goes, what? Yeah.
Nice. It's a fucking G.
So now he's the king of Spain, and they don't talk shit. He actually put his brother in there. He goes, you take care of that for me. I'm the king of Spain. So Spain starts having a civil war now that he's the king of Spain, and it sucks because it becomes Napoleon's Vietnam. A bunch of his soldiers are there trying to quell the Spain. He wants to take care of Spain, and a lot of his forces are, mustered there, and they get all clogged up. Meanwhile, all the other guys that are butthurt, and Britain's like, hey, look, see, he's over there now. This is our chance. And everyone else is like, dude, Britain, you keep trying this shit. I know you hate France, but like we keep getting our ass whooped.
You're on an island. You don't know what it's actually like.
Yeah, it's fucked up over here. You don't know what it's really like over here, man. And then Britain goes, I think you're forgetting about one thing. We're going to pay you a lot of money. And they go, oh, we didn't consider that. Let's do it again.
But he did sign the peace treaty with Russia,
do it
right?
again.
This is, when I told you they all lost power, they already signed the peace treaty with that.
Yeah, so I just want to chime in because you forgot that,
But he has not marched on Russia yet. Isn't that what you're talking about?
He signed the peace treaty with Russia.
But not when he marches, the classic Napoleon march to Russia.
No, he didn't do that
Okay,
yet.
yeah, so they signed the peace treaty with Russia, Austria, Prussia. Yeah, go ahead.
So after all that, he really, in preparation for Spain and everything like that, he did want to celebrate signing these treaties.
Hell yeah. I'm sorry I stepped over you, Dylan. I thought you were talking about the Russian expansion. But
no, it's okay. No. But do you want to know how he celebrated?
You sure bet I do.
Okay. He had his boys gather about 1,000 rabbits.
1,000 rabbits?
Yes. And put them in cages. And then they were situated on the edge of a grassy field. And then once the trumpet signaled, they would release all the bunnies. And then they would all go on a nice, fun old bunny hunt.
Oh my God, 1,000.
But what happened is his plan didn't work out. So they all charged straight towards Napoleon. And
the rabbits did?
The rabbits did. they were hungry, and bunnies
they want to eat it.
Can be a little when they're hungry. It's not great. They get angry. So they swarmed under his legs and climbed up onto his gold embroidered jacket. They nibbled at his buttons and gnawed his boots. And Napoleon couldn't shoot them because they were on him.
Yeah.
So he tried shooting the ones all around him, and then his guys all tried to fucking like whip him. Like they had whips
beat them off
and fucking sticks and shit. And yeah, they were trying to like beat the shit out of all the fucking bunnies on him while he was running for his fucking carriage, and then they attacked him inside the carriage as well. And
holy shit!
Yeah, that's what happened.
Gotta say,
I never heard that story. That's fantastic.
I'm a fan of that story.
It's a good story.
That's what Put it on record. You should feed the bunnies when you keep them in cages for a fucking week. They wouldn't be so pissed off.
They're pretty pissed. Imagine 1,000 rabbits coming after you.
Oh no, you'd be fucked. If there's that many of like think about 3 rats coming to bite you. How scary that would be if they had no fear. And times it by 1,000 and double the weight. God damn, that's
terrifying. Okay, if I saw one rabbit charge at me, I'd be fucking running for the hills.
Dude, I had a squirrel. I had a squirrel in Central Park fucking climb on me and attack me, and it's so fucking strange because you're like,
I got chased by an angry woodchuck one time. That was fucking terrifying.
Wow, that's wild.
These animals don't know their place, man.
Come on, they're in our home. What the fuck?
What the heck?
What the heck?
So, luckily, as Dylan stated, when he signed the peace treaties to all those different countries, they were like, all right, we're not going to help. And then Britain is like, we're going to pay you all out. But meanwhile, Russia had a bromance with France. Him and Alexander were basically gay together, in the no homo way. They were best friends. They started hanging out together, doing like vacations. And he even told his wife, he was like, God damn it, if Alexander was a woman, I'd take him as my mistress. And she was like,
yes,
what am I supposed to say
agree.
To that?
I agree with
this. What do you think I was going to say to that? I don't get
No, because Napoleon, he
liked the guy.
He liked the dudes. He said exactly what you just said, obviously, but he also his his generals and his top brass
all drove Miatas.
He promoted by attractiveness. So he was
Alexander the Great. He wants to be Alexander.
Yeah. So he liked hot.
When his lead general dies, he's gonna die of sadness.
Yeah. I don't know why I did that. How do you conquer the world if you only conquer women? You have to conquer men too, sexually.
Yep, exactly.
I get the drive. I'm not that guy though. But yeah, so
sure.
So when Britain starts paying everybody, I'm not saying I'm not gay. I'm saying I'm not the kind of guy to conquer the world. So when Britain pays off everybody, Napoleon goes, fine, but not my boy Alexander. He's my boy now. Like, he won't turn against me. He's loyal in Russia. He'll be fine. But then Russia's like, oh, no, we will. Yeah, we want to beat your ass. And we're all cute on weekends, but like they're paying us a ton of money to beat your ass, so we're going to do it again. So Napoleon's like, you know what, Russia? You really hurt my feelings, man. I thought we were friends. I'll have to kick all everyone's ass again. So then he goes on ass kicking, and now the year is 1812. And you might recognize it from a couple of things. Number one, America is fighting Britain, and Britain is trying to pay people to fight France. Britain's like, we're going to burn the White House because we're so fucking pissed at Napoleon. And then they go do it.
Then maybe we can blame the French.
Yeah, and the rest of the countries are fighting against them. But there's a famous thing about 1812 when it comes to Russia, and it's a little thing that goes... Good
old
the
Chime Man himself.
The famous song. That's it with the cannon fire they do on the 4th of July in America. That's named after Napoleon being like, I'm pissed at you, Alexander. I'm going to Russia to kick your ass. And I'm serious this time. We're taking you guys out. I'm mad.
Next time, I'll be so seriously next
time. So Napoleon rushes on Marcha. Okay. Try that again. Marches on Russia. And he takes 600,000 troops because now he's the emperor of Europe at the time. So he goes, I'm going to march on Russia. I'm going to show all you motherfuckers what happens when you break my heart, and I'm going to take it real personally.
Don't go breaking my heart.
He marches in there. And we talked about this on the Historical Blunders episode. Dylan, does he succeed in conquering Russia?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. He goes in with 600,000 troops. Russia does the thing they always do, which is sacrifice human life and land to win. And they do scorched earth. They burn every farm, every piece of land, every city. And as Napoleon marches, they get more and more starved, resource. And the supply chain's bringing up. They're farther and farther away. It's getting colder and colder. And then they get all the way to Moscow. And then Napoleon's like, surely here, this is your final stand, you bitches. And he's losing thousands of troops, not only to starvation and disease, but people are deserting. Because let's not get twisted. It's not 600,000 French loyalists. He's got people from all over. He's the emperor. So he's got people who are like, what do I give a fuck? I'm just going to desert. So you got deserters leaving, all this shit. And then Russia goes, you don't think we will? We'll fucking do it again. And they burn Moscow to the ground. They go, try that. Like,
and not to mention
we're so hungry.
Russian girls classically have wicked big boobs.
Yes.
So I imagine the STD situation is getting
rampant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no way Napoleon doesn't have multiple STDs at this point. There's no.
And
Russia is acting like a Geodude using self-destruct. They're like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I'll fucking do it again.
And back to real quick, circling back to the gay stuff.
Please.
I just do want to say this might have had something to do with his failure in Russia. Is that he's a repressed homosexual?
Sure.
Because he was so misogynistic. That's usually the sign of like he's the opposite. He's actually just wicked gay.
Yeah.
And
I actually stand by that. If you hate women, it's because you're gay.
Exactly. And the strongest piece of evidence is a quote that I need your help with, gentlemen.
Is it?
Because I don't really understand what this means. Can you please help me?
Absolutely.
He said, this is a quote from him. He said, when he saw a handsome man, he felt admiration first in his loins, then in another place which he claims shall remain unnamed. What is that other place?
The heart.
I believe it's his heart.
Your balls and dick.
No, I think.
I think he's saying
it's his heart.
More manly to get a boner from seeing a man than feeling love for him.
Yeah, you can get hard by seeing a hot man, but if you love him, you're gay. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh yeah, okay.
Anyone can get hard by seeing a hot man, but if you actually fall in love, that's what gay is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just ask the Greeks. You can have gay sex. That's not gay. But if you fall in love with a man, that's so gay.
Yeah. I'm in love with you guys. Am I gay?
I love you too, man.
Thank you.
I don't care if it's gay.
Same. Yeah, it's fine. Fine with me.
So Napoleon, I'll put it this way for the stats alone. Marches in with 600,000 troops, marches back to France with 40,000. That's not great.
Pretty bad.
That's not what you would call a win.
That's not what you call a win. And so when he marches back, he's like, that didn't go very well. And when he gets back to France, they go, hey, look at you, Emperor. You have to concede the war now because now you lost all our soldiers fighting Russia, and now Sweden.
Because he's not far enough away to lie about it.
Yeah. And all the other countries have been sitting at their doorstep being like, wait till he gets back. We're going to tell him how much he lost. So now he has to, for the first time in 5 wars, he has to concede. And part of his concession is that they can't kill him because, it's a modern, leader. You can't kill him. So they have to exile him to an island. That's the equivalent of killing a world leader. Because I think that all world leaders are kind of like rich guys where they're like, fuck the poor people, but if I get in trouble, we can't fuck me over because then if you get in trouble, you're fucked over. So all the world leaders, they won't kill him because that means if they lose, they get killed. So they go, okay, don't kill him. We'll send him to an island. That's what we'll do. So they send him to an island about, I don't know, 100 or so miles northeast of Corsica where he grew up. It's called Elba off of Italy. Like, all right, Italian boy, you're back to where you came from there. So he's sitting on that island. He's stewing away, being like, that was some bullshit. I should have won that. And in the meanwhile, France is popping off again. They're going back to the royalty shit. The king is back. They're like, hey, the revolution never happened. Napoleon's a bitch. I'm the king. Everyone loves royalty, right? You're all starving. That's great. And Napoleon catches word of this, and he goes, this is a great idea. I think what I should do is I'll fucking do it again. So he gets off the island. He escapes the island. He escapes exile. He heads up through Italy. He encounters a regiment of troops sent, because they heard he escaped, sent to capture him. They find him, and he goes, and they go,
come on.
I know. Yeah.
So they all join him, and he marches in. By the time he reaches Paris, he has an army of people sent to get him, and he's like, you guys, these rich fuckers, come on now. They all join him. He literally comes back to Paris with an army the size he got with. Not 100,000, but like his old regiment. And he takes it again. He does another coup. He goes, I'm Emperor again. And they go, okay, don't kill anybody. He goes, we'll have to kill some people, but not you, big guy. Mm-hmm. So then Napoleon goes from losing the entire war to being exiled to being, again, the Emperor of France once again. Within, fucking 5 years. Boom, I'm back. That's pretty good.
It's pretty sick.
He's a man of the
he doesn't give
not
up.
The people, but, something like that.
Yeah, so it's 10 months from when he loses the war in Russia to him being the emperor again. It's 10 months.
And how old is he now? He's like in his 30s still?
Yeah, he's in his late 30s. He's almost, I think he's 40. or something like that. Late 30s.
Oh, so this is his midlife crisis is doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's midlife crisis.
And what year?
1813.
13.
Wow, it's almost been 20 years since he had sex for the first time.
Wow. What a milestone.
Cool? Yep.
Did they figure that out by carbon dating his penis?
No, I just remembered that he around 1795 he banged a prostitute at a Paris brothel.
Very French, very French.
But he banged it out. He said he didn't come until trying it with the fourth prostitute.
I bet.
So it doesn't.
I didn't inhale.
The fourth prostitute was a man.
So the thing is, he didn't. Here's the thing: is though, like if you don't jizz, does it count? I don't think so.
I think it does.
I don't
for your first time. I wouldn't say having
I think you
sex.
gotta lock it in, dude. You gotta jizz.
All right. I mean, I'm not saying that happened to me.
If you lose, it's not losing your virginity yet if you don't jizz.
Well, tell that to any girl you've ever met.
What?
If you don't orgasm, it's not losing your virginity. Ask any girl you've ever met if that's losing your virginity.
Oh, it doesn't count for. That's not how it works for them. It's just us. It's locking it in, and I don't even think it works for them either. If the guy doesn't jizz, neither of you doesn't count.
It's still what the guy does.
Yeah, just all with the guy. If he doesn't
bust, you didn't have it. Then.
No one had sex.
No one had sex. If you don't, you know how I stand by it. If the guy doesn't bust, you never had sex.
Dude, he's got a bust.
I didn't make the rules. God
bust.
did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I didn't make these rules. This is just how this goes.
I mean, hey, you know the rules, and so do I.
Yeah, and he was so great at. But
every single time,
Napoleon loved to fucking eat out chicks, and
what a hero!
A famous quote from Napoleon to his wife Josephine was, "I'm coming home. Don't wash."
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's rough.
It's old time. This is like being some old time. This is like
roll right there.
1810 hangover, but 1810 eating out a chick who doesn't shave with no showers.
They don't use.
I don't think shaving was an option.
Anything. Yeah. So he was a big fan of that. But oh wow, she calls it. You know that I will never forget the little visits. You know, the little black forest. I kissed it 1,000 times and wait and patiently for the moment I will be in it.
This is
just like Admiral Nelson's cask.
Dude, you have an incredible memory.
He took a little monkey sip of her monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Like a monkey sip from the little black forest.
God.
Yep.
Is that where the phrase "Black Forest ham" comes from?
Yes.
Oh God, dude. And gummy bears.
Black Forest clam.
Well, oh boy, that's fucking crazy.
Good Lord.
Actually, you know what? I believe
Josephine out of it because I want to, focus on the military stuff.
I believe that's what George Harrison's hit single "My Sweet Lord" is all about.
Oh,
is the little black forest.
Hallelujah! Please don't wash.
Well, he obviously some people did and didn't like him, but Marie Louise, his second wife, said just seeing him would be the worst form of torture.
Oh,
just looking at him.
Rough.
I mean, of all accounts, he's a real dickhead.
He didn't talk about her Black Forest. Anyways, so go on. I just wanted to just reminded me of all that.
No, that's great memory, Dylan. I'm glad you remembered that.
I would have rolled right over that.
His virginity when he first had sex, that really just hit me.
Alrighty, so he comes back. He's starting to seize power again, starting to rally up. He's like, we got to bring it back. We bring the glory back to France once more. And so at this point, he's 46, and he you wouldn't guess this, but I'm going to tell you, all the other countries tried to fight him again, once more. You wouldn't believe it.
Take it back now, y'all.
But the main things are Britain has the German and Dutch on their side, the Germanic peoples,
the Dutch,
and then Prussia, because Russia's like, we're staying out of this one. We're going to stay here. It worked for us last time. And Sweden is pretty much embarrassed that they're even still considered in here. So Napoleon wins a couple of victories on his way to the middle of Europe again, and then he reaches a part of the world where he will never be able to walk from again.
Because when I walked in Waterloo and smiled at people, they treated me like a vampire. They used the cross, and they went like this by not smiling at me.
And this is...
That's my boy right there.
This is literally used as a euphemism for someone's end. It's called Waterloo, the last battle Napoleon ever fought in as a leader. And so he's fighting through the Austrian woodlands. I have a whole drawn up thing. Basically, he wins before a river happens, and Austria and Britain, they retreat. Austria retreats to a small town, and Britain retreats to a farmhouse over, and there's a ridge overlooking it. So now they're out Napoleon. Napoleon's so angry, he's doing the thing that he hates to do, which is chasing them down and fighting them. He's not fighting the way he likes to fight. He's fighting their battle for them. They're outdoing him. And they've also fought him from 5 wars. They know how he works now.
So this kind of touches on what you were saying, like at the very beginning, where like first thing he is a people pleaser. Second thing is a war guy. Like that, like he's good at it, but that's not what he's best at.
Right. And now he's emotional. He's broken out. He thinks he's the king of the world again. And he's been
battling his sexuality for 20 years.
He's been battling sexuality for 20 years. And so now we have the battle. It's called Waterloo. So Prussia breaks off into a second regiment. He sends half his forces to fight them down and distract them. He goes, I need to fight Britain alone. This is personal, baby. And so half his forces go off to fight Austria in the east. He heads up past this riverbank towards this farmhouse where British soldiers are there shooting at them, doing the classic thing. And then as he arrives there, he stops because he sees all these cannons up on a ridge. And they're waiting for him in the farmhouse. They go, Napoleon.
And he's an artillery man.
We've out Napoleon, you Napoleon. Napoleon goes, no, you have not. I won't stand for it. And long story short, his forces fighting Austria, they have to circle back because he's getting pelted. And after him getting fought on that ridge, he goes, all right, I'm going to send my best regiment up, my King's Guard, the best guys I got. He sends 3,000 soldiers right up the gut, and they all get their ass kicked and they run away. And that's the last thing he ever did. He didn't do any Napoleon shit. Like, he just didn't Napoleon himself in the last battle. And then Austria comes back around. They surround him. They kick the shit out of him. And, and he's pissed.
And that's how I felt when I was in Waterloo.
So he's having a hard time. It wasn't great.
Then he got interviewed by a Canadian fashion magazine.
So anyway, they take him down. The British are so happy they finally beat him on his own terms, and they go, Napoleon, you're done, bud. You're cooked. They should have killed him right then and there. They should have been like, that's that. But they didn't want to upset the French people, so instead they go, we should exile to an island. I mean, historically, it's like, what are you guys doing? You just do the same thing over and over and over again. That's just how you do things. But it is. And basically what they do to him this time is they send him to an island that's almost in between. I didn't even know where it was. It's almost in between Africa and South America. It's in the middle of nowhere. He really can't come back now. It's in the fucking southern hemisphere. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's off the coast of Africa, like 3,000 miles. Not that many, but like that far. And
this is one of the few things I remember. And they had 2 warships patrolling the area. So if he tried to get away,
we're not trying that again.
No, we're going to spending all that money. We're going to fucking
just
sink
to do
you right
that.
now.
Yeah, no, it's insane.
I'm going back to Waterloo where the vampires hang out. And I'm going to wear my sunglasses at night. You know why? Because women show their tits, have short skirts, and then they feel violated when I look at them. Why? Because I have sunglasses on and I'm weird.
So he gets stuck on that island, and there's a great journal of him being on that island for a long period of time. Basically, his bag of tricks is over, and he dies on that island at the age of 52 of a broken heart. And that's that. That's the age of Napoleon.
Cancer.
Well, hang on. So the autopsy revealed that he had severe hepatitis and stomach cancer. Yeah. But he also did have high levels of arsenic in his blood, which there's
arsenic.
a huge conspiracy that he was poisoned.
Oh, Dylan found the conspiracy.
Ooh, Dylan, let's hear all about this.
Oh yeah, so he himself fueled the suspicion. 3 weeks before he died. I die before my time, murdered by the English oligarchy and its assassin.
Okay, well, he would have said that anyway, though, right?
Oh, exactly. So
he didn't want to die like a bitch on an island. He could have cancer and hepatitis.
That mind game motherfucker could have been poisoning himself. I mean, like, they're trying to kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it was arsenic that got him, his fucking whole life was full of arsenic, wallpaper, paint.
I mean, it wasn't out of the question.
It was fucking everywhere all the time, anyways. So like, he's lifelong exposure to fucking arsenic. Like
everyone was dying of arsenic.
Goddamn sure. And all the samples they took of fucking hair from 4 points in his life as well as his wife's all showed pretty high fucking arsenic levels, roughly 100 times of that of people who are living whose hair, like other peasants' hair that didn't have nice things.
Yeah.
Because nice things had arsenic in it. So he had chronic exposure to fucking arsenic. So he could have been poisoned, but he definitely died of his stomach was like, the day of his death, his stomach was like super
in knots. He was so nervous,
bloated, and he had rashes on his fucking legs and arms and shit, and he was fucked.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
And his
though.
dick. Don't forget how fucking weird his dick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you're kidding. It looked like a piece of beef jerky.
That dick. No, it looked like those vibrators that have the fucking like that stretchy hand on the top. It's like, yeah. So definitely just don't forget his dick. It's fucked up looking dick.
I don't think anyone gets through this whole thing. Anyone who watches this whole thing will never forget about Napoleon's dick ever.
Yeah, well, everyone needs to know. Even after his fucking dude, take any other dick and preserve it for a while. Even Admiral Nelson's dick ain't looking that fucked up, dude.
Even then, you got to be a urologist to buy it.
Joe, I feel like you disagree. What are you saying?
No, I agree. No, I was like, yeah. At that point, no one's dick's looking very nice. I mean, come on.
I know, but Admiral
seafaring
Nelson,
gentleman.
I don't know. I feel like Admiral Nelson's dick, even after his.
You think it was? You think it was all right?
Didn't look like Napoleon's fucking.
I just feel like every shore leave, there's just condoms don't exist.
Also,
and
just saying that, just like
people's dicks are just like a war zone.
Just like, who's that really fucking hot girl in that movie? Oh, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh yeah.
No, she dissed beneath the laser. Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah, she gave Michael Clark Douglas throat cancer from her.
Yeah, she did, and he's pissed. But know who's not pissed about cancer from fucking eating out girls? Napoleon.
No, he never got it.
He's not being a bit. Well, he got stomach cancer. Maybe it's this related to.
Could be from eating shit out of dude's butts.
I'm surprised he didn't get sinus cancer from fucking inhaling tobacco every fucking day, putting out Gazelle's noses.
I think he got Catherine Zeta-Jones to death.
He ate Catherine Zeta-Jones to death. That was his punishment.
No.
You're gonna eat this black.
No, they ate him out.
No, Michael Douglas got throat cancer, and he blames it on eating Catherine Zeta-Jones too much. Yeah. And he's like wicked, like pussy about it. And I think Napoleon just ate out all of his hoes a lot and for fun, and that's how he died.
That very well could be.
He got stomach cancer from them all because it's 1700s.
He swallowed so much unwashed masses.
He prefers it rare. So
yeah, better than
generals eating unclaimed mass. Oh, I already messed that up. I'm not even gonna bother.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to go back to the ministry and allow them to perceive me as I am, a fuck up.
What a stereotypically bad ending to a terrible man.
I mean, yeah, he obviously was a piece of shit, but he was a successful piece of shit.
Yeah, he used to slick his hair back and everything.
Throughout his fucking escapades, he's accountable for more than 6 million deaths. First-hand responsible for 6 million.
What does that number ring a bell to me? That number in Europe, something in my head.
That does ring a bell.
Ring my bell.
That's fucking nuts.
Ring my bell.
Yeah, and honestly, the whole thing about him, conquering people.
A fine addition to my collection.
Killing. I mean, the things that he did in Spain were literally occupational
hazards.
Genocide. He just would line people up in the streets and just kill them. And, he was a piece of shit. He's a terrible, good person. But all the education and the justice system and the roads. I mean, come on, man.
The roads, dude. The fucking roads.
How else are we going to get the roads?
Hey, the Louisiana Purchase. Thank you. Thanks for having, not Louisiana,
also,
but,
big thanks for
Ohio.
Also, he didn't steal it, but he had the Mona Lisa in his bedroom for a bit.
That was just for beating off purposes. Because, she hasn't washed it in 500
Holy
years.
shit, she's fucking hot. Jesus Christ. Put that above my fucking bed.
Dude, he made his wife shave her eyebrows. That way
there is people who definitely jerked off to the Mona Lisa, and that's sickening to me.
I think it's great. It probably gives it power.
It's like that super old the cave with the whittled piece of wood to sort of have figure. It's people definitely got off of that thing.
Yeah, what is the most beat off to piece of art in human history, I should say? It might be Dylan.
I actually had this thought.
Probably
what was that?
Probably you.
I'm saying, even 10,000 BC, they were like, this dude Dylan Reed. Oh,
it's all numbers, though.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, if they beat off to him once in 10,000 BC and then 6 billion times this year, the numbers catch up. The Mona Lisa wasn't probably at first that many, but by now it's on the internet.
By now the
numbers are cranking up.
Dude, the shit people do out there, this is definitely happening. I mean,
yeah, dude,
no question.
A lot of religious iconography too. People have definitely. Imagine those monks in their monastery, and they're like, I'm celibate, and they have a picture of Adam and Eve with the snake. They're like, okay, this is fine.
No, it's okay because I didn't paint this
big
one.
Busty naked Eve, but there's no way they weren't like, all right, this is fine.
Don't get high on your own supply. It originated with monks where you don't jerk off to your own paintings.
Yes, that's the original.
Yeah, they come in. Yo, I'm getting changed.
What are you getting changed out of your robe you wear every day? Yeah,
don't come in here. I'm getting changed.
I'm in my workout gear.
Talk to the Pope. He knows everything.
I was gonna say something funny. Oh yeah, I was in the Witch Dungeon Museum one time, and it's so dark and weird down there. And I was just thinking, dude's probably who can draw in jail, especially in the old timey 1800s.
We brought this up on the podcast before, dude. Please go ahead. I'm saying
1800s jail.
Yeah, because I have not heard this. I don't think
1800s jail can draw whatever nice pencil porn.
Yeah, it's like buying
and then
porn.
sell it to people.
Dude, it's like that episode of South Park when the internet dies and Randy is porn. So it's like, what do you type in what you want and someone draws it and hands it out to you?
No, it's you get a tattoo of a nice looking lady, and anytime even any port in a storm, you're like, I always have this.
I mean, why do you think they put women on the side of airplanes in World War II? They could stick their heads out at 10,000 feet and be like,
they're at altitude jerking off.
Dude,
to,
if you look up
Betty Grable,
what do they call that art? It's
pinup.
Pinups, yeah, dude. There's some fucking spicy ones out there.
Yeah,
I'm
not shit out. Some of them are real fucking ramped up.
Real nice.
They're not just conservative, these are our grandfathers.
No, they were the version of
never say the word
porn.
penis.
Yeah, it's paintings. It's not
fucking up there as far as fucking spiced up.
It's like for us, when we were 10 years old, seeing a National Geographic for the first time of the topless woman in Africa. That was their version of that.
I don't think it's just like that. I think that's more like the idealized version you're looking for. But okay. Whatever you say.
It's all apples and oranges when you get down to it. It
is all. Which brings me to my favorite segment. Final thought.
Final thoughts.
Tales old as time.
A real nice warm welcome back to the Dylan Joe Basin podcast with Dom.
Keep it warm.
And we want to share some thoughts on Napoleon. Joe, why don't you start us off?
All right, sure, I'll start.
Talk to the Pope. He knows everything.
That's my final thought.
Which one? The one that died in his hand, or the one that he just held for 5 years?
The one he kidnapped. Yeah, that one. No, my final thoughts are that I didn't know as much about Napoleon as I thought I did. I'm very impressed by his life. It's a real I wouldn't call it rags to riches, but I call it riches to insane power. Like, he came from a noble of a little island who had just been acquired off of France as a little Italian boy. Don't forget, he's a little Italian boy. That's his whole notion. That's a Napoleon complex. It's not about the size of his body. It's about the size of his like stature in society. He was off this little island. I mean, imagine if some Puerto Rican kid conquered America.
Crazy,
nothing
right?
wrong with that, but it's like,
Can you imagine that?
I would not. It's impossible.
That ever happened to you?
Can't be done.
Whoa! Can't even believe that could be a possibility.
I'm not talking about a Puerto Rican American who lived in New York City for 30 generations. I'm talking about someone coming from Puerto Rico in the year, 1950.
25.
I'm the president, and I'm going to win the war against fucking Russia. Like, it's some crazy-ass shit that he did.
And I'm going to take women's rights away immediately.
Yes, which, I mean, come on, let's be honest. Puerto Rico, a lot of people don't want it to be another state, but honestly, the South should be cool with it because they're super fucking Christian. They will probably vote exactly the South. Like, it's weird that the South's like, they're not a state. It's like, I know they're Hispanic, but, like, you want them in your voting block. Like, they will always vote for you. Like, there's obviously they have, family in America that might not vote for that, but I feel like Puerto Rico, for the most part, is going to vote anti-abortion every single time, which will do it.
Every time, no question.
2 seats in the Senate, now you're cooking with gas. No. But no, Napoleon, obviously, he's a very impressive dude. I mean, not just from his rise to power, but like, yeah, he consolidated France and he shaped Europe. And the thing that blew my mind the most is that how recent it is. This is during the American Civil War. It happened just after Napoleon was running Europe. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, Europe's all set up for World War I. America's doing their shit, and then you're good to go. Like, no. World War I happened in the wake of Napoleon. Like, it only happened because Napoleon was receding his power and, dying of vagina cancer on St. Helena.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he got
vagina
away.
mouth cancer.
Yeah, and obviously the comeback. So I think he's a super impressive guy.
Black Forest hand cancer.
Yeah. I think as many impressive men in history, total piece of shit, awful human being, evil, terrible person, but impressive as always. So shouts out to Little Man.
Little Man Taint.
That's all I got to say.
So I'll go next. Final thoughts on Napoleon. I like talking about people's birds. And
dude, no
I couldn't tell.
And his
Toronto doesn't have bums, but Waterloo, they're creating bums. They created me.
So yeah, that was pretty cool to learn so much about Napoleon's bird, and his first time having sex was in 1897.
Nope,
but
wasn't.
Besides that, I knew
not 1897.
17.
Yeah,
fuck. I'm all confused now.
Come on, Dylan. This is a podcast
1797
about accuracy.
1797. It's a cool fact that I'm not sure everyone knew before this podcast started, and I learned a lot about Napoleon today on my own behalf, as well as you two guys, Joe and Dom, also known as Steve Spiro and George Goshington.
Also, Steve Spiro is the name of the guy.
What's your name?
My name? Oh, let me tell you my name. I'm confused.
Who's from?
Oh, the guy. I know the guy, yeah.
Hey, yeah, Steve Spiro.
I forgot he does say his name at one point.
I was like, there's no way Dom will guess that's the guy's name, so I won't spoil it for him. But anyway.
Funny. Do you know what my name is from?
Saddam Hussein? Yeah. He was the supreme leader of Iraq for some time.
He was, nice car collection of his. But yeah, no, Napoleon, badass dude, dirtbag, lover of fucking black forests, and was pretty good in battle, apparently.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
George Goshington or Goshington?
George Goshington. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good one.
It is a good one.
I did start off as a dick stip.
That's fine. You beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
You beat it constantly.
My final thoughts are, I thought I knew a little bit about Napoleon, and then when it came time to do this, and I was like, I don't know fucking anything about him. Yeah. Learned a ton tonight. He's a very interesting man. Glad he's dead. But definitely like Joe said, like all crazies, definitely left a lasting and, for the most part, surprisingly positive mark on the earth, I guess.
Yeah, it's all said and done, I guess.
And yeah, I remember when I was researching this a little bit, and I was like, I can't believe I don't know anything about Napoleon. Like, he was around during the U.S. Completely forgot about the Louisiana Purchase thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's not. He's not. Like Alexander the Great, where it's like, oh, he was.
When you
so
learn about it in
long
history
ago.
class, they don't go, yeah, by the way, Napoleon sold it to us. They go, they purchased it from France. They don't go, it was fucking Napoleon sold it for war money because he kept trying to fight people all the time. They kept trying to fight him.
It is. It's crazy. It's. I mean, yeah. I can only think of two more things to say, and that's shout out to Georgia Brewing Company, the only other website that has our podcast listed as being in existence. And this has been a long time coming for us. We got stickers.
Yes.
We don't know what we're going to do with them yet, but we have them.
Coming to a bathroom stall near you.
All right, dropped all these stickers everywhere.
I'm drunk now.
Yeah, if stickers are make or break a podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Let's really get some good bathroom action, and then definitely a sign like where we usually have our marketing.
Yeah, some public signs.
We've had marketing materials out on these signs for 2 years now in Hudson.
Let's really nail it down.
Yeah, definitely some good bathroom situation, and
viral
else.
Marketing.
Yeah, if anyone's write in, obviously, if you got a good fucking spot as hell to put a sticker, we'll put one there.
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Oh, I know where you should put a sticker. I'll do
I think I know one too.
The fucking orange X.
Not what I was thinking. All right.
Get a picture of it and send that.
No, because because you saw my update, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
They added butterfly stickers to it.
Yeah. Also, our last podcast had that as part of it, so the fans do know.
And what's better than butterflies? A gorilla with 2 UFOs above it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the DJBP.
Exactly.
Next episode, it's 90, baby. We had another decade. Dun, 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 dun.
We got a good one for you. We actually, this might be the early, even though we haven't, I don't know if we talked about it too much, but we do have a topic already picked for this decade episode. I don't think we've ever had one picked this early before.
When you were a child, there was 9 planets, and now there are 90 planets, and there are 90 episodes of the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. And whenever you use your cell phone, you can only call your former boss who hates you, and the voicemail is always full. And whenever you're late to pick up your kids, your feet become jelly beans, because you've entered the basement, and it's Easter.
It's gonna be great.
So, pats on the back for us. We get 20 episodes in 1 year.
I mean,
that's
20 it could have been worse. Dude. We also did 6 toilet wines. I mean, that's don't forget those.
Those count.
There we go.
Those count.
We love you guys. Thank you for all our new viewers, and thank you for all our old viewers. It's been a great ride. Let's keep it rocking. Another year.
Keeping it rocking and rolling.
Dylan, you want to take us out?
Get some stickers. Put your orders in now. We love you guys. You know what? Actually, here's the thing. We do need to update the merch part of our website.
Classic. Let's take us out. All right, wait a minute.
We need to update the merch part of the website, and we can ship these out, and all the proceeds
we can finally change.
Buying materials for the podcast, whether that's more stickers, shirts, fucking
new change of garb for Wallace.
We can finally get Dominic a
laptop that works.
A laptop that works.
That'd be nice.
Still
That'd be good for the pod.
One of those things. Yeah. And we'll be good to go.
Step right up.
Absolutely.
Dominic's laptop fund right here.
Right there.
I'm not going to raise my voice.
After the Joe Basement Podcast, we'll see episode 90. I mean, this is another war here. We have to fight it on all fronts. The whole world's against us, and I'm the only man who can save you. So I have a good idea on how to handle this. I think that when I win this war, I should be the emperor of Europe. Is that a good idea?
this. Fucking, I see you, two dudes. Me see two guys. Two guys, 4 AK-47s that way. Like that type of stuff.
That's good. Yeah, because you don't have radio communication, so everything that you can barely hear you over the gunfire. The hand signals are huge.
Yeah, he goes, see, I see 2 dudes blowing each other. 4 o'clock.
Kill them.
4 o'clock.
Kill them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was great.
His stepdaughter, when they were kids, this is like the 80s, was very mad at them and put cayenne pepper on it.
Oh my god!
Because this was a functional replica.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not kidding. This is a family secret. Yeah,
Dylan, this ties perfectly to your whole let's do a podcast about nothing. One Labor Day, I was fucking hammered. My dad used to always trick Jeff into eating hot peppers.
Yeah,
do you guys know what sucking the monkey is?
I do not.
I can't wait to find out.
Okay, well, it's if you put you fucking drill a secret hole in a cask and put a straw in it and drink it like that. And
doesn't it come spilling out though?
Well, put it through the top, dude. Put a big fucking straw in a cask.
The top, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it has. This is how alcohol poisoning was invented.
No one should have access to that much alcohol. No one's rich enough to have that much.
Yeah, this is how that all started. So
many
anyways,
brave men and women died sucking the monkey on open seas.
Sucking the monkey, dude. So Admiral Nelson's brand alcohol is really kind of a term for Nelson's blood, being used to describe brandy or rum, because when they got back to port, the fucking barrel he was in was dry. So
yeah, in the pee hole is gonna be the worst of all.
Yeah, I've got it in the pee hole because
every time you piss, you wipe your dick with your finger, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like you're wiping your mouth.
Every time he pisses, he uses a quart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. What it was.
And Napoleon catches word of this and he goes, "This is a great idea. I think what I should do is I'll fucking do it again." So he gets off the island. He escapes the island. We talked about this on the historical blunders episode. Dylan, does he succeed in conquering Russia?
Absolutely not.
Stereotypically bad ending to a terrible man.
I mean, yeah. He obviously was a piece of shit, but he was a successful piece of shit.
Yeah, he used to slick his hair back and everything.
Throughout his fucking escapades, he's accountable for more than 6 million deaths. First-hand responsible for 6 million.
What does that number ring a bell to me? And then Russia goes, "You don't think we will? We'll fucking do it again." And they burn Moscow out of the ground. They go, "Try that." Like,
and not to mention
we're
that
so hungry.
Russian girls classically have wicked big boobs.
Yes.
So I imagine the STD situation is getting
rampant.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no way Napoleon doesn't have multiple STDs at this point.
Oh yeah.
Russia is acting like a Geodude using self-destruct. They're like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I'll fucking do it again.
And back to real quick, circling back to the gay stuff. All right.
Just ask the Greeks. You can have gay sex. That's not gay. But if you fall in love with a man, that's so gay.
I'm in love with you guys. Am I gay?
I love you too, man.
Thank you.
I don't care if it's gay.
Same.
You know what? Who cares about Verizon? Screw their old games. We're here to party. Episode 90 coming soon.